Hi everyone, this is Scorch80 here with an installation video of the Jandy K1100 automatic pool filter. And I installed this because I burnt up a number of booster pumps over the years because our pool's covered in Northern California and we don't always know that the pool drops below the skimmer level, and then there's not enough water in the line and the booster pump runs and it tends to burn out. So I wanted to have a system that did not use the toilet filler type of apparatus and had a pressurized line all the time. I wanted something that did not involve a pressurized line. Here's the configuration, although with mine the distance between the control box and the sensors are quite a bit distant. There's a sensor line that goes in the skimmer, and then there's a control line that goes all the way to the check valve, which is hooked up to your water feed line. And for me, the distance between my control box and my check valves are over 100 feet. And then there's about another 50 feet between the control line at the pool into the fill into the pool. So that far into the pool there is where the fill line is, and then all the way at this end of the pool is where my skimmers are. And there's two skimmers, and this one that we're about to pan into is the closer of the two, and that's where I mounted the sensor that hooks up to the control box. And this is the control box, the K1100. There's a couple different versions of this in case you are filling two different pool configurations, like a spa and a pool. There's three lights on here: a power light that tells you it's on, a sensor that says that it's talking to the sensor, and when it's filling, the little red light or little green light comes on in filling. And if you fill too much, then it will cut itself off and say you probably got a leak. So this is the skimmer. Let me show you the sensor that's on inside of here. You can see the sensor, it's velcroed, and that's the recommended process on the side of the skimmer. And you can then position it to the right level that you want the pool to fill. And then I had to drill a little hole in the pool deck and through the skimmer basket, or through the skimmer hole, and then ran it through a expansion crack. Not my best job here. I've got to do something to make this look a little bit nicer. From there over to the pool equipment, which is about 10 feet away. And let me move this gate out of the way, and you can see that the cable carries on past all the pool equipment on over to the control box, and that's the cable right there. It's not dressed as neatly as it will be when I'm finally done, and then runs up to that control box you saw a moment ago, the Jandy 1100 control box. And then out the back of it, you basically run sprinkler cable, which I ran through the length of the cable over to the house. Now this is the sensor. You'll see there's two metal sensors on the bottom of it, which are just touching the water. As soon as water touches that, it will shut the pool filler off, and when the water's not touching it. They also ship this unit at the other end, which is if you're doing new construction, it has a sensor on either end, and this would fit into a fixture that would go into a well or a hole dug on one side of the pool, and then this would go on the top of that hole on the one side of the pool with the sensor being mounted in it. And there's a little junction box that comes into it. But since mine was a retrofit, I mounted the sensor, the half moon type of sensor, in the pool rather than cutting a hole here in my deck and putting this in place. I just felt it was a lot simpler. It took me about 2 full days. Here's what the water feed line is. Again, the cable, the sprinkler cable, I used actually doubled up on conductors, 24 gauge conductor. Ran it from there about 100 feet from the pool equipment underneath my house, and then up to where the feed line is. Put a double check valve in, and then this is the solenoid, which is controlled by the Jandy control system. So when it doesn't detect water, it'll open the solenoid and it pushes water through this pipe all the way into the pool. But the only part that's pressurized is between the check line and the solenoid valve, so I don't have pressurized line underneath the rest of my deck and my patio equipment for most of the year. You know, it's only having water in it when it's flowing. So this is again the system. It didn't take a lot of work. I had to drill a little hole in the side of the skimmer through the cool deck to get into the skimmer and route the cabling, and then do a little electrical connection to get power to the sensor, and then run that sprinkler cable from the pool equipment over to the house and do a little bit of plumbing, installing the check valve and putting the solenoid in. But basically, you know, if you can put a sprinkler system in place and you're comfortable working around electrical, not that difficult a system to set up, and I think highly superior to the toilet fill type of systems, the toilet equipment type of fill systems that you see on the web. Equipment, I think, cost around $400, just under $400 for the system. But again, to not have the worry of that pressurized line underneath the pool is worth it for me. Good luck, and hope you enjoyed.